Hello, my name is Arata Fujisaki. I am 15 years old. I know that you were about 13 years old when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor and World War II began. I have some questions, please, about your life back then. How was the atmosphere when Japan attacked the United States? Did the atmosphere change when Japan surrendered? What was the scariest experience you had during World War II? How about the Korean War? How did you feel when you heard about the atomic bomb? Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. All right. Hello, Manuel Sierra. Thank you for agreeing to be interviewed today. So we're here to talk to you about when you were 13 years old. You know, Arata Fujisaki is a student of mine, and he's 15 years old, and he's very interested in World War II and when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and he knows that, like, you heard his questions for you. So he wants to know when the Japanese attacked the United States. How old were you? You said 13?
About 13, 12, 13.
Middle school.
Yeah.
Not elementary.
No, just beginning middle school.
Just beginning middle school. And that war lasted from when you were 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 18. Yeah?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, 5 years.
Yeah.
It was a 5-year war. Okay, so Arata's asking, when the Japanese attacked the United States, what was the atmosphere like? What was the attitude of the people around you at school, at home? What was the atmosphere like?
Well, the people everywhere were angry about that incident. They were the ones that were angry because they attacked the United States.
And people knew people who were over there in war. And had we been attacked before that?
No, that was the beginning of World War II.
Huh.
When they attacked Pearl Harbor. And that affected everybody in the United States.
Yeah. So everybody was mad, you're saying?
Right.
Not really scared?
No, they weren't scared. They were mad because it was a surprise attack. See, people were angry.
Angry.
Yeah.
And that caused people, you said, to enlist.
Yeah, because that started World War II. And then there was a lot of guys that are aching to go, so they volunteered for the service.
Because that had happened. Because they were mad.
Yeah.
That's the reason. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
People want to get real patriotic.
Yeah.
So, people were angry. This went on for years, and patriotic. But then, did the atmosphere change when the Japanese surrendered? And how, if it changed, if people's attitudes and things changed?
Yeah, people's attitude changed because they knew that the war was over.
You were already a young man, around 18 years old, enlisted in the service 5 years down the road, right?
Yeah.
Where were you?
You mean when it started or when it was over?
When they surrendered. What had happened?
Oh, the war was over then.
Yeah, but when did you enlist?
I enlisted about 2 weeks before it was over. See, I was in boot camp. I was in the Navy. I joined the Navy. And that's when the war was over.
How old were you when you joined the Navy?
17, I think it was.
17. So you joined the Navy. They send you to San Diego
for boot camp.
And then the war ended right when you got there.
Yeah, when I was in there, in boot camp, training to fight, the war was over.
But they didn't send you home.
No, because I was in there. They sent the guy, the old salts, home first. See, then they released all the reserves. When I was in the Naval Reserve, I came back home with them.
But it took you about a year.
Yeah, it was a
Of
year,
being
like
in
about
a-
2-3 weeks for a year.
So a year of being in the service without a war,
Right.
and the atmosphere was generally positive.
Yes.
People felt what?
Relieved.
Relief
Yeah.
that
Yeah, and people were dancing out in the streets.
really.
Yeah. When it was over.
So when the Japanese
The
surrendered,
GIs in the middle of town, girls and all kissing all the servicemen.
like you see on the magazine
Yeah.
covers, like
Yeah,
Time
I actually
magazine.
saw them, yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Really? How great is that? So you guys were happy, but you stayed enlisted and you stayed through boot camp, and then where did they send you?
When you join the service during that time, it's not, you don't go in there for any length of time. You go in there for duration of war. See, when I went in, I didn't go in there for 1, 2, 3 years. I went in there for duration of war. See, and it just so happened when I was in boot camp, it was over.
But they didn't send you home. The war was over, but
No, but they had. Well, that's how much that's how much it took to get to me releasing all the old salts first.
the old salts. Is that what you're saying? Like salt?
Well, the old salts, I mean the old Navy guys.
Is that what they called them?
Yeah, old salts, the old guys that was in there already wanting to come home.
Well,
see.
sure. They'd been there a long time and they'd
Yeah.
seen war.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they were ready to come home. See.
I see.
See, so Truman started releasing them, and then that's when they got to me. But a whole year later.
And what did you do in that year? You weren't in boot camp that whole time?
No, I was in the Pacific, like I told you. They sent me to the Pacific and put to that Marshall Island because they were building an airstrip, and they put me in there with the Seabees.
CBs,
Yeah, with the
Construction Battalion.
Yeah, they found out that I was a welder, so out of the regular Navy, they put me right quick with the Seabees, and they unloaded me there in the Pacific Island, island of Anahuac.
I bet.
And they was
What's the name of the island?
Anahuac.
Anahuac.
Yeah, you see it in the map.
Okay.
Pacific
Island, Marshall Island.
Yeah, Marshall Island. We started building an airstrip. It had been bombed by the Japanese and everything. So that's what we started doing, building that strip again.
Wow. So you did that for almost a year.
Yeah.
And then they sent you to San Francisco? When
I was eligible for release or discharge, they put me back on the ship, which was Battleship Texas.
The Battleship of Texas
They
brought
sent me
you
back
home.
to San Francisco.
Oh, how nice. Was it called the Battleship Texas?
Sure,
Back then?
it's a battle wagon. It's a battle wagon. It's a battleship.
It's a battleship.
Yeah, it's a World War II battleship.
And that brought you from the
From
Marshall
Marshall
Islands
Islands
to San Diego.
to San Diego.
So when we went to the Battleship Texas, that's why those guys
yeah.
really stood attention to you.
Yeah.
You deserve that. You were on that ship.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, Rata's third question. Well, yeah, you already answered the relief that people were relieved when the Japanese surrendered. Another question is, what was the scariest moment of World War II? But you're saying there weren't. I mean, you were only in there for 2 weeks and the war was over. Were there any scary moments?
No, that was when I was really scared was in the Korean War.
Yeah, that's his
That's
next
another
question.
different branch of service.
How much you came out, and then how much later until the Korean War started?
Well, the war was over in 45, and I didn't go back till 51. 1951 was when I went to Korea. It came out in 52.
And that war was going on, and you did see battle.
Yeah. Well,
And you were in Korea.
taking the troops. Yeah, I was in the motor pool then in the Korean War.
And what was scary about that?
Going to the front, being there in the front while you're loading and unloading load. See, load GIs and pick up the the relieves. You know, you relieve them and you bring them back.
So guys are on the front line fighting,
Yeah.
and your job was to take a Jeep. You weren't the only
take
Jeep.
replacements.
Okay, so take guys ready to
Convoy,
fight
yeah.
and get guys. It was their break. The other guys relieved them. So you were up in the front lines
Yeah.
over and over and
Yeah.
over again, and that was scary.
Oh yeah, sure. Anytime you're in a war zone, you don't know if there's a bullet in that other hill over there for you. You don't know. See, and that's in the back of your mind all the time when you're out there.
You were driving. You
Yeah,
were driving that Jeep back and forth, back
I was a
and forth.
mechanic then already.
So that was the scariest. What was
Yeah.
the scariest moment?
Being out there and back. As long as you're out there, you're scared. You may not admit it, but you're scared till you leave. See.
Until you go
You
back.
know, I used to always pity the guys that stayed there. A lot of them that they stationed them there, so they had to be on the front line for so long a time. Then they relieved them, see, so they wouldn't get battle fatigue.
Oh God!
See,
Didn't you see something happen to a Jeep right in front of you?
yeah, well they didn't hit mine. They hit one in front of me. Sniper did, but no.
All those guys perished. All
Yeah.
those guys were killed.
No, it was just two of them that died. The others made it pretty good. There was 4 guys in that Jeep. The tail gunner and the driver and another guy. There was 3 of them in that Jeep. Well, 2 of them, I think, got killed. And the other one, they sent him back to the what they call it, bay, shoot, I forgot, sick bay.
Yeah, because he was hurt.
Yeah.
So that was probably pretty scary.
Yeah.
I mean, of course. And so then, you were there almost a year?
In Korea, yeah, because I was all told I was in it 2 years in the Korean War.
And that wasn't the Navy. That was the Army.
That was the Army. That was the Army.
Thank you for your service. That's good.
Think none of it.
We think a lot of it, and we should think a lot of it.
Yeah.
Now, back to the World War II. When you heard about the atomic bomb, where were you? How did that feel? How did you feel about our country bombing the Japanese, and how did that?
Well, I felt inside of me, I felt kind of sorry because I knew there was civilians. When that bomb hit, it didn't just hit Army personnel. It got all the people, kids and everything.
Well,
All kind of Japanese people. See? So you kind of halfway feel it if you got any,
emotion.
feelings. Yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of people didn't care. A lot of guys didn't care. A lot of them said it was so much better, but others didn't. And I
Yeah.
was one of them. I didn't like the idea, but just that's life, and that's the service.
And it did stop the war.
Oh yeah, that's the only way. Because Truman told him, kept telling him, he dropped one bomb, and he thought they were going to take it out, and they didn't.
Where did that first bomb? Where?
Nagasaki, and then the other one. Where was the other one? One of them was in Nagasaki, and the other one was when they finally surrendered. I forgot where the other one was, but they dropped 2 of them.
Mm.
The second one convinced them because Truman told them they was going to annihilate them. You know, in other words, get rid of all the
Annihilate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he said-
they had to surrender then.
Good night. And so I bet people were somewhat relieved because the war,
So it was into it. It was the end of
there
it.
was an end to World War II.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, those are all of Arata's questions. He's a great student. He's very
Well-
interested in our country.
Wish you a lot of luck with him.
Huh?
Wish you a lot of luck with him.
Yeah, so he's wishing you a lot of luck, Arata. And Arata said thank you in the video for your time and
Yeah.
for your questions.
Okay.
And I thank Arata because I learned more about our heritage and our family and everything. And what's good for kids is to see other perspectives. That war and things like that, there's 2 sides to it. There's
Yeah.
never one side. And I think the world would be a better place if kids learned that empathy for the other side.
Yeah.
So I like that he's interested in perspective of the other side.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manuel Sierra, and thank you for your service.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
It is good. I think Tony and Nick and Jill will like seeing that too. You know,